The Georgia governor's race is over, but today an organization backed by the Democrat Stacey Abrams now has opted to file another lawsuit. The federal suit filed by the Fair Fight Action alleges gross mismanagement of the November 6th election. Joe Hankey talked with the plaintiffs today and read through the lawsuit. Joe, the election is long over. What are they asking for in the suit filed today?
Well, Jeff, it is a lengthy lawsuit. Specific changes are requested for voter registration, how polling locations are run, and how you cast your ballot at the polls. Fair Fight Action and a second organization called Karen Action want paper ballots to replace outdated machines and for a so-called use it or lose it voter registration policy to come to an end. Stacey Abrams' campaign and Fair Fight Action claim they have received 40,000 phone calls about voting issues from the November 6th election.
The general election for governor is over, but the citizens and voters of Georgia deserve an election system that they can have confidence in.
Lauren Growargo, Abrams' campaign manager turned CEO of Fair Fight Action, says the suit filed this morning seeks to overhaul the state's election system. The suit is a promise Abrams made during a November 16th speech where she ended her gubernatorial campaign.
This is not a speech of concession, because concession means to acknowledge an action is right, true, or proper.
The 66-page suit boils down to a list of requests. The state's voting machines are described as insecure, unreliable, and lacking a paper trail. Plaintiffs want paper ballots counted by optical scanners to replace 16-year-old voting machines. The suit seeks to end the state's use it or lose it policy and claims since 2017, the Secretary of State's office, quote, unconstitutionally purged the rolls of nearly 10% of Georgia's registered voters. The suit requests eligible voters be reinstated.
Unknown thousands of Georgians were unable to cast ballots because they showed up at polling locations where they have voted cycle after cycle after cycle, and somehow they had been purged.
Capitol Police arrested 15 protesters under the Gold Dome, including State Senator Nikema Williams earlier this month, as they demanded every vote be counted. Williams is the state director of Karen Action. She says long wait times at polls can effectively cause voters to lose the right to vote.
Domestic workers and many other Georgians have trouble taking off both the time to vote and the time to cure a provisional ballot.
Whereas this election, we found certain election decisions were left up to individual counties. The suit requests uniform processes statewide to have wait times of 30 minutes or less at polls, with adequate ballots, other materials, and trained staff in place to deal with the amount of voters registered to a precinct. On Election Day, voters at several metro area polls stood in lengthy lines, and select polls remained open well past 7 p.m. due to various issues. And while the suit names interim Secretary of State Robin Crittenden as the main defendant, Governor-elect Brian Kemp was called out several times today during a press conference announcing the lawsuit for his oversight of the most recent election as then Secretary of State. When asked about the suit, a spokesman for Kemp's transition team told me Kemp is focused this week on meeting with public safety and economic development leaders. I'm Joe Hankey, 11 Alive News.